we have to solve it with different dimensions. The most important thing is to realize that every time the budget is mentioned, everybody talks about taxes, revenue measures, revenue-raising measures. But that is just one component. You're asking yourself, why do we raise revenue? There is one problem I want to emphasize. But it is not one problem. It is actually one problem in three problems. We call them trilemma. There is one dilemma, but composed of three dilemmas, so we call it a trilemma. One of the things is that everything and everywhere you turn, everyone wants government to spend more, to increase expenditure. We want roads, we want electricity, healthcare, education. So everybody wants the government to spend more. But for government to finance those aspects, healthcare, infrastructure, electricity, education, all those, it requires a lot of revenue. The only way you can finance that is through tax revenue or debt. Debt has, the second problem is that you have limitations in terms of debt. Debt today can be income, but debt tomorrow is going to be an expenditure. The third problem is that if you can't finance those revenues or those expenditures through debt, then you have to finance them through taxes. And everyone resists high taxes. So that's why we call it a trilemma, or a three-dimensional problem. It's one problem in three problems. But we are going to overcome by looking at moderate ways of trying to solve the problem. So the budget today is going to emphasize on the policies that we need to implement, policies, programs, and intervention to implement to support that fragile growth, that fragile economic recovery. We want to make sure that we revive the economy so that it can generate jobs for the youth. And that's where we are. Simple as that. We want to revive the economy so that we can pay our debt. We have been buffeted by debt, and everybody has seen us moving from moderate risk to high risk of debt distress, isn't it? So essentially, it is something you read, you write in the papers every day. So we are confronting all these problems. And on top of that, we have to build roads, we have to support hospitals, and that's why we are reforming even the hospital, the universal health care. There's the school program. We have a new school program. We have a financing model. And we all have to support that in terms of resources. So in a sense, what we are doing is to summarize all that we have got from both MDAs and government institutions, plus the private sector, and then public participation in terms of what they have brought to us. That's what we summarize, that's what we present. But this year's budget, we want to emphasize two things. First, we have to protect that economic recovery. We can only protect that economic recovery through policy reforms, through the diverse measures of raising revenues, through programs, and through interventions.